What's up, everyone? I'm back at y'all with another video. Now, with this one, I'm going to talk about why Terrifier 2 is the perfect slasher movie. Now, I watched this movie a lot. This movie's like 2 hours and 18 minutes. If you include, the end credits and stuff like that. And, but yeah, it's a long movie. But, to be honest with y'all, I didn't feel the runtime in this movie because there was so much awesomeness that was going on. You know, I enjoyed All Hallows Eve, and I also enjoyed the first Terrifier. Now, the first Terrifier was kind of a showcase of what Art the Clown is capable of, and um, and it just shows that Art the Clown is not messing around. Excuse me. Now, the kills are incredible. The first one I thought was okay. It was just a kind of introduction, even though he appeared on like the short horror film. I forgot what the short horror film was called, but yeah, Arthur Clown appeared on a short horror film, and then he also appeared in All Hallows Eve. And I thought, Terrifier was a showcase of what Art the Clown is capable of, and I thought the first one was okay, but this one I thought was better than the original, a lot better than the original, because this film took everything. It's like the first one, they just wanted to see what works and what people like about this character. So in the second film, they up everything. They up everything. They up the intensity. They up the characters. The characters are more likable, and everything. And this film, it even has an old school type of cover art on it, and I love the cover art. This film right here is the perfect slasher movie, and I'm going to explain why. One, the characters are more likable than they were in the first film because they introduced a new final girl. They introduced a final girl because the first one didn't have a final girl, but they introduced a final girl named Sienna. She became one of my favorite final girls. She was a badass in this film, and the soundtrack and both of the Terrifier movies is just incredible. Terrifier has its own theme, kind of like Michael Myers has his own theme. Freddy has his own theme. Chucky kind of has his own themes, but he has a bunch of different themes. Chucky does, but yeah, and Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees has his own theme, and all that stuff. So yeah, what I love about Art the Clown is he's kind of funny. Like, he has his own personality. He's kind of different than a lot of these other horror icons. Like, he'll make different face expressions, and he's just funny. Like, before he starts messing up people, he's kind of hilarious. Like, he's really funny before he starts messing up people, and I like Art the Clown for that. And yeah, so if part 3 ends up being even almost as good as part 2, Art the Clown might be one of my favorite horror icons. He might be in my top 6 maybe, or my top 5. If part 3 ends up being at least almost as good as this film. Because this film took what was great about the first Terrifier and amplified it even better. Like, this film took everything that was great about the first Terrifier and amplified it even better. And the kills in this film, this one has the most body count, more body count than the first film had. And Arthur Clown was even more vicious in this film. And the final act, in my opinion, was great. I love the final act, and I love Sienna's story arc moving forward with this film. I love her story arc. This film, I really don't got no negatives to say about this film. Of course, it's a low budget indie movie, and this is one of the biggest indie movies because this movie, I believe, has made $12.2 million on a $250,000 budget. That's kind of huge to me because this film was low budget, and it's surprising it has some decent atmosphere sprinkled throughout this film. And the final act was great. And I love the opening scene was pretty great and weird. The opening scene was kind of weird a little bit, you know. But other than that, it's really good. Is it a perfect movie? No. Is it a perfect slasher movie? Yes. Hell yes. It's a perfect slasher movie. And like this movie definitely shows how much of an icon Art the Clown is now. And it's crazy. Like, we would have thought we would have got another great horror icon, another great horror villain. Like, because right now I could probably put him up there on par with Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Chucky. And, you know, Pinhead and freaking all them other great ones. I could put him on par with those now. And especially after watching this film. Because I thought the first one was decent. I didn't love the first one. I thought it was decent. I could still rewatch it. And then this one did everything even better. You know, this film was better written, it had better characters, and everything else. So, and then they introduced a final girl in this film. So I really enjoyed that. And if you haven't watched Terrifier 2, I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth y'all's time. I couldn't believe how good this movie is. Like, literally, like, I would give this movie probably a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film. Like, this might be the best horror film, in my opinion, of last year. My favorite horror film of last year, probably. So, I enjoyed this film. Even I don't know, I might like this a little bit better than Halloween Ends. I love Halloween Ends. You know, I would defend that movie all day long, but this film, for some reason, I like it just a little bit better than Halloween Ends, and you would have thought that, you know. Of course, Michael Myers is still my number one favorite horror slasher, but it doesn't mean that I would like Halloween Ends better than this movie. But I still loved Halloween Ends, but yeah. Terrifier 2, it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. You know, that's why it is the perfect slasher movie. It did everything that slasher fans want. Great kills, great characters, decent atmosphere sprinkled throughout the film. And then you also get little musical cues of Rob Zombie's Halloween theme, a little bit of that mixed with Halloween 2018's theme. Got a little bit of that sprinkled in with it. And then there's homages to other slasher movies and different other horror movies, which I really do appreciate. And I also enjoy some of the dream sequences that was in this film. That's a lot of the dream sequences that Sienna has. And yeah, this film was great. All the characters, in my opinion, was great. And let's talk about that bedroom scene for a second. Now, that bedroom scene was freaking brutal. Like, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but all I'm gonna say is that bedroom scene is brutal. And the way that bedroom scene was shot, and the way that, like, this movie reminds me of classic slasher movies. This movie reminds me of classic slasher movies because they used a lot of practical effects, especially in that bedroom scene. So yeah, like, I enjoyed this film a lot. That bedroom scene was brutal, and I highly recommend y'all checking this film out. But you know, I don't think, like, I think that there's a tie between the bedroom scene and that hacksaw scene in the first film. I think it's a tie between those two scenes. But yeah, I enjoyed this film. It did everything that the first one did, but did it better. I enjoyed this film a lot. So yeah, I guess for this video, let me know in the comments below if y'all have seen Terrifier 2. What did y'all think of the film? Did you love the film? Did you hate it? I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts down below. So yeah, I guess for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe and share. And also hit the bell so you know when new videos are uploaded. Peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Now I'm out. Peace.